Sup everyone, we're back with Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Last time we toppled the typhoon known as Maelstronheart and saved Britain? Maybe? Question mark? I think so. At least from a worse fate. It really is all over. Did I sacrifice too much? Mr. Naruhodo. I really must congratulate you. Oh, you know what I just realized? We did say that Professor Mikotoba said that that soon he wanted an answer if Ryunosuke was going to go back to Japan or stay in Britain. So I guess that's probably going to be what the game ends on or something. About him probably, I assume, I don't know what it'll be. He'll probably decide to stay here. It was a truly splendid performance. New music again. Oh, it's a course clear theme, or a case clear theme, except it's, you know, revamped for the final case. Honestly, I couldn't be happier for you. Oh, thank you very much. But I really couldn't have done it without you at my side through it all, Mrs. Sato. Even though you were kind of quiet for a lot of that trial, but you still helped a lot. Oh! Your kind words mean so much to me. It really was a very splendid show, that, Naruhodo. I'd have thought you'd be smiling from ear to ear, but you look rather glum. Well, of course I'm delighted about the verdict. But in exposing the truth, I'm afraid I've caused my client a great deal of pain. I'm really not sure that's what a lawyer ought to be doing. Oh well, in that case, I'm quite sure that when you see Lord Van Zeeks' smiling face, everything will seem much better. Yo, I need to see that dude smile. Oh. Speak of the devil, I guess, except he's quite the opposite of smiling. I don't know, can someone just edit his mouth to, like, flip upside down, maybe? I don't know. Mr. Sato. Everything seems worse. He has a face like thunder. Oh dear, I really shouldn't have presumed. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? Almost a year it's been now, since I first encountered you here in this very courthouse. For you to have risen to the level of excellence you demonstrated today. Well, it's quite remarkable. But I exposed the most unpalatable truth you could ever have imagined in court today. I feel as though I've robbed you of something you held so dear. What was it he said? To fight those who dwell in the darkness requires at least some of us to occupy the darkness ourselves. But that was just the feeble excuse of a coward. Only those with a steadfast eye for the truth have what it takes to fight the dark forces of crime. Damn, you are trashing on your dead brother right now? You made fine work of establishing that fact in court today. Oh. Well, thank you. So can you call him by first name? That'd be the biggest sign of honor you could bestow upon him, Von Zeeks. I'm just saying. What magnanimous words. I'm quite sure that Kazuma-sama would have a smile on his face at this very moment if he were here. Kazuma. I was about to say, why wouldn't he be here? Mrs. Sato. There's another face like thunder here. Oh my! And he really was here. Lord Van Zeeks. Allow me to congratulate you on your acquittal. Congratulate me, or curse me. You failed to bring down the Reaper. I owe you an apology. No, it is I who should apologize. Just kiss and make up. Your father, Genshin. If I had been stronger, then perhaps I made an unforgivable error of judgment. I can offer no excuse. And I can offer no forgiveness. That said, I suppose you fought for justice and the truth. For that, at least, I can't withhold respect. Well, that's good. Your words mean more to me than you could know. I will hold them dear. Kazuma-sama. Well then, I must say, there's one thing that's still bothering me. What's that? The will that Lord Clint von Zeeks wrote before his duel with my father. Sogi's a fine detective and a hunter worthy of respect. He has agreed to honor my final 2 wishes. The first is that this document survives. The second, I cannot commit to paper. Oh yeah, the second. I have confessed my sins to my wife. May she find resolution in my death. With my eternal gratitude to my Japanese friends, I rest my quill. Clint von Zeeks. What can the second of his final wishes have been? That your father agreed to honor, you mean? I think perhaps... Who? Oh, I was actually right. I kind of used a softer voice thinking it might be him. I might be able to shed some light on that. What? Father? It was 10 years ago, as you know. The day before the execution was scheduled. I went to the prison to say my farewells to Genshin. Why aren't you putting up more of a fight, Genshin? If you'd only agreed to it, Seishiro and I would gladly petition the government. You've been through this already. You don't need to worry about me. Anyway, Eugene, I have a favor to ask of you. Something of great importance. You're one of my greatest... Sorry, let me retry that one. You're one of my greatest friends, Genshin. Whatever it is, consider it done. I'm going to tell you an address. I need you to go there at once in secret and telling no one. You should find a lady of the gentry and hide in there. A lady of the gentry? She's not in a good way, and she's with child. The birth is imminent. Huh? As a medical man, I'd like you to attend to her. Please, you're her only hope. By any chance, is the child yours, Genshin? Don't be daft. It's a favor that was asked of me by a man I knew, as his dying wish. My goodness. I swore to the man that I would help. That I would do whatever I could for his wife and his unborn child. But if something should happen to me, I need to ask you that same favor. You're the only person I know that I can truly rely on. What did you say? If something should happen to you. Tomorrow night you're going to be... You never know though, do you? What life will bring. Alright then. Tell me the address. I'll head there at once, with Seishiro and... No, not with him. Pardon? This is a favor I'm asking of you, and only you, Eugene. Right, I see. Very well then. That very night I caught a train from Paddington to Dartmoor in Devon. I found the old house in the middle of nowhere. It was. An old hunting hound lay asleep in the grounds. Oh, is that Balmon? Who? The poor woman was on the floor at the back of a darkened room. She was in mortal danger. I broke her waters to precipitate the labor before she weakened further, but it was a torturous birth. I did everything humanly possible for her and her child. I assume the woman died at birthing her child. Or certainly a child. And in the end, I was lucky enough to welcome a new life into the world. But tragically, the mother perished. My efforts to save the mother's life were in vain. I held the healthy newborn girl in my arms and wept for her, longer than I care to remember. Eventually, in something of a daze, I looked around the room. There was precious little in it, but an old travel trunk caught my eye. There it is. The Baskerville crest. It had clearly been well looked after over the years, made of top-quality leather with fine stitching. But it was when I saw the emblem on the side of it that everything dropped into place. B for Baskerville. Baskerville? You mean the woman was the wife of Lord Clint von Zeeks? So that must have been the second. That's right. The newborn was his daughter. But that makes no sense. Why on earth wouldn't Clint have entrusted the child to my care in that case? I was completely unaware that he even had a daughter. I suppose he didn't really have any choice. What? Well, your brother said that he'd confessed everything to his wife. So she must have been beside herself with worry for her child. If the true identity of the professor were ever to be made public, the girl would be forever branded as the daughter of the infamous mass murderer. Ugh. So the only solution was to distance the young girl from the von Zeeks family as much as possible. I don't believe it. So, does that mean you're an uncle to someone? I imagine that in his final hour, Lord Clint von Zeeks made the obvious choice. He would have thought to himself, this Japanese man here is someone I can trust. I honored my promise to Genshin, of course. However, only a month later, I was summoned back to Japan, and without disclosing the parentage of the child, I couldn't obtain permission to take her with me. So you left the child in Japan. Oh, how awful. I was completely at a loss. In the end, I had to ask my great friend. Oh, it just clicked! It's Iris! The kid is Iris! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Okay, the kid is Iris. Iris Wilson is actually Iris Baskerville. Oh my god. Oh, holy shit. So the Hound of the Baskervilles was a story about... It was a story about her own parents or something related? Oh my god. Great friend can only mean Sholmes, right? I asked him if he would be a father to her. That being Mr. Sholmes, I presume. Holy shit. Yes. He took one look into my eyes and agreed to it on the spot. Mr. Sholmes, he has a heart of gold. Really, all it can be said that I did for the child was to give her a name. Oh? When I'd come to Britain, I was trying to escape from the grief of losing my darling wife. Oh, did you name her after your wife? So it was her name that I gave that little girl. Your wife's name, Professor Nikitoba. In other words... The name of my mother! Ayame Nikitoba. Ayame. Oh! Is that a translation? That's right. Ayame. Or in English, Iris. Holy shit. Iris. I had no idea. Didn't... Ouch! Mr. Naruhodo, what's wrong? This little thing just pinched me on the behind through my trouser pocket. Hard. Oh, so it goes both ways, I see. Ah, my dear fellows, can you hear me? Mr. Sholmes, is that you? Ouch! Yes, we can hear you. You see what excessive tugging can do? Let that be a lesson to you. The tugging of the tush. Mr. Sholmes, we weren't able to thank you properly before, but you are simply marvelous. Your checkmate move was a stroke of genius. Indeed it was, wasn't it? I surpassed myself, I feel. It had become apparent to me that to stop the Lord Chief injustice would require some measures. Nice one, Sholmes. Bruno, Susie! Oh, Iris. Oh shit. Everyone in the room's like, oh fuck. Oh, I'm so pleased. What a wonderful outcome. Her Majesty Queen Vicky said she thought my special blend was delicious. Oh, I'm sure she did. After all, no one brews a more delicious tea than you do, Iris. Let's have a party to celebrate. And Mr. Reaper, you simply must come too.
I'm afraid I couldn't.
The Reaper of the Bailey, flustered by a 10-year-old girl. Again. I mean, to be fair, he did literally just now learn that he's apparently her uncle, so... No, really? Oh, poo.
But I give you my word. That I shall present myself at your residence in the near future to express my gratitude.
Oh, how lovely. You've promised now, I won't let you forget. Bye for now, then. Alright, Iris. Thank you for all your help earlier. Yeah, shit. Does that mean... Yeah. That means that Barrick is Iris's only living relative. Oh, that was nothing. Just come back home soon. Ding dong. Ow! Oh, one final pinch goodbye, was it? Oh, Lord.
Well, I think I ought to be leaving. Lord Van Zeeks, would you care to accompany me? Certainly. Mr. Naruhodo, allow me once again to express my deep gratitude to you. I believe you saved my life. Can we get a smile? No? Wait, Lord Van Zeeks! Yes? What are you intending to do now? Well, clearly I shall have to resign from the prosecutor's office. Oh no! I intend to publicize the full truth about the Professor case. Once that's done, the Van Zeeks family will be ostracized completely from London society. Surely not. So as soon as I am free from my employment, I shall leave the capital. Oh, I see. Don't be a fool. I had a feeling it was him. Are those the actions of a man once feared as the mighty Reaper of the Bailey? I beg your pardon. And they really were... You can really tell that these two at one point, even if it was while he was under amnesia, that these two were indeed master and apprentice for a short while. For the past 10 years, you've endured that pseudonym and been cast as one of the dark forces yourself. Now that you've finally been freed from that disrepute, your battle is just beginning, surely. Well, I certainly never expected to hear those words from your lips. I waited a very long time to come to London. Now I'm properly here, I intend to learn all that I can. Anyway, goodbye for now, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Damn, they're both out of here. Kazuma Sogi. Seems as though he's really matured suddenly.
He's not the only one who's matured, Mr. Naruhodo.
Hmm?
Well, I think we should make our way back to Baker Street. We must help Iris with tonight's dinner.
We must. Professor Mikotoba's just like, wait, I don't get to say anything? Oh. It was then that I came to an important decision about my future. Onwards to the next scene. Yeah, I definitely think we're gonna end up beating this game tonight. 6:25 p.m. Shom Suite. Tadaima.
Oh god. About time you got here. We've been waiting ages, Odo.
Man, it is good to see you again. Though being greeted with the smoke launcher is not the best. What are you doing with that colorful piece of history?
It's a party, innit? It's gotta go off with a bang. I mean, fireworks, ideally. But when you ain't got fire, smoke's the next best thing, ain't it?
Perhaps. Perhaps. There's a girl on Fresno Street who could help you with that, I think.
Right. I'll remember that.
You don't have to reload that thing every time I speak.
Sorry, force a habit.
Who's that? You really must hear this. It's quite the most extraordinary thing. I assure you, it will defy your expectations. Take down every detail now, Mikotoba. Ah, the world-famous great detective regaling his partner with the tales of his adventure. A sight to behold. Would you care to hazard a guess? Where do you suppose the fiendish runaway had concealed himself? Would you believe inside the trunk I found abandoned in his cabin? I would believe it, yes. I say, Mikotoba, I detect not a hint of surprise. Yes, because I was there. I wonder why that is. Maybe because I was there at the scene as well, Sholmes. What? You were? Then why the deuce didn't you say so before? Not quite the sight I was expecting to behold, but still. It's hard not to feel privileged to see it. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Professor Mikotoba. I'm finally back from the Bailey. And not a moment too soon. A feast prepared by Iris and Miss Susato awaits. I must say, I haven't seen Susato looking so happy in a very long time.
Ah, Bruno, there you are. Dinner is on the table, everyone. Please do come and take a seat. Time to fill me boots.
Ah, the whole family's here. Well, aside from Asogi and Von Zeeks, but...
Goodness, is that really true, Gina? Yep, I'm losing my copper's clubber and going back to what I know best. It's a dover's laugh for me. You're really leaving the police force? But why, Guinea? Well, the boss ain't around no more, so... Oh. And anyway, no matter how hard I try, that Reaper ain't never gonna accept a Dover-turned-dick, is he? Well, people can change, you know. You know.
Ah, yes, that reminds me. I feel like she's not... There's no way she's gonna just instantly go back to being a diver. Like, I don't know. I feel like she's gonna get accepted. Like, she has to carry on the will of Gregson or something like that. I don't know. Also, she can't leave Toby alone. Come on. I rather thoughtfully offered to relieve the bailiff of this now defunct piece of evidence.
Eh?
It's the inspector's pocket watch, and the crown has been reattached. And now his theme is playing. Man, I miss him. That watch was his pride and joy. a symbol of his great achievements at Scotland Yard. For 10 years without fail, it measured every second of the man's remarkable career. But now, it stopped. Someone needs to keep the memory of Inspector Gregson's career alive by taking on the great responsibility of winding that watch every single day again. Yes, someone with an equally fierce detective spirit. Hell yeah. It's gotta be me, there ain't no one else. Quite right. I mean, after all, the boss was... well, he was my boss. Yes, Skinny, yes he was. Good to see you turned around real fast. Oh yeah, and I made you a promise and all, didn't I, Iris? That's a new pose. I like it. Then I'll become a proper detective one day and track down your old man. Your old man. Well, oh. Well, you don't need to do that. He's kind of 6 feet under, but... Alright then, it's decided. I'll do it. And I swear. I'll find your dad and bring him in kicking and screaming. There is some sheer awkwardness in this room. I'm, not entirely sure that would be appropriate. Yes, I think Gina might be best to, well... I think I'd like you to forget that promise, Skinny. Eh? Iris? Well, obviously I've always wondered about who my real daddy is. Of course I have. I wanted to know where I've come from. I thought it might tell me something about myself. But I've caused such a lot of trouble trying to find out. So many people. Hurley, Bruno, Professor Mickey. Oh, no, not at all, my dear. Really, you owe no apology to anyone. Right, he's the one that ended up carrying out the operation to bring her into this world. Well, anyway, I've decided to give up on it. Because I finally realized my daddy is the greatest in the world. I don't think it matters what his name is or where he's from. Don't you agree? Hurley? Ah, how wonderful. With every word, Iris. Thank you, Hurley. Thank you, Daddy. Aww. They're so adorable. I think, Mikitoba. Yes, Sholmes. I think that I ought to express my gratitude to you. Oh. For 6 years, you and I solved many a mystery together. And during that time, I remember countless expressions of gratitude for our good services. But a moment ago, I heard the most pleasing expression of gratitude of them all. And I should never have experienced it, were it not for you. You old softy, Sholmes. But I must confess, it's a weight off my mind to hear you say it. Well then, I think this calls for a lengthy violin recital, wouldn't you say? Oh, well, the food would go cold, that's the only problem. Maybe next week, Hurley. Are you sure a week is long enough, Iris? Even amidst the most troubling of cases, even reeling from the most shocking of revelations, returning in the evening to this suite of homes, there's always warmth and happiness to be had. The home of the world's greatest detective. And my home, too, with my greatest family. There's nothing stronger than family. 4th of November, 9:37 p.m. Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy. This attic room has been my home and office for almost a year now. I've certainly had some unforgettable experiences whilst I've lived here. But I think now, the time has come. Time to bid this place farewell. So he is going back. Naruhodo. I had a feeling it was you. Oh, Professor! Are you alone? I didn't hear any sound from Susato's room. Yes, Susato-san went out after dinner. She took a carriage. Something about an important matter she needed to take care of. Ah, I see. And time for the talk. I wanted to thank you for what you did earlier. Oh? With Iris, I mean. When the subject of her father came up. Lord Clint von Zeeks. I made up my mind many years ago never to tell her who her real father was. It's what was agreed with Genshin, after all. Lord Clint von Zeeks' final wishes before he died, you mean? Yes, I've had to take some rather drastic steps at times to protect that secret, you know. Calling Susato back to Japan 6 months ago, for example. That's why? When I read Sosuke-san's report about his final days in London, my heart nearly stopped. You'd stumbled across the crux of that terrible case, the dog's collar. Ah. Yep. The description of the Baskerville insignia left me in no doubt. Baskerville. If you decided to investigate that insignia, sooner or later you'd have made the connection to the Von Zeeks. And to make matters worse, Susato knew of the unpublished story as well. The story that Iris had written based on my notes from the time. Ah, yes, the Hound of the Baskervilles. Exactly. It was a work of fiction, but based on the grim reality of a huge beast of a dog being used as a murder weapon. A dog with the Baskerville family emblem around its neck. Armed with those two clues, I feared you and Susato might arrive at the truth. So I invented that story about having collapsed to justify her leaving London and returning to Japan at once. All in aid of halting any investigations you and she might have been contemplating. I see. Something I've never understood is why Susato-san came across that manuscript in Japan, though. You know, Iris's The Hound of Baskerville story, I mean. Sholmes sent it to me. That was before Susato left Japan. He was very troubled about what should be done about it, you see. I'd read it and carelessly left it on my desk, which is where Susato came across it, of course. Ah. It was the only case Sholmes and I ever pursued that I didn't record in meticulous detail. I was stunned when I discovered that young Iris had pieced together so much of it from my paltry notes. Sholmes and I discussed the matter and decided that we couldn't allow the story's publication. At that point, I returned the manuscript by post to Sholmes for safekeeping. So you did all that to stop Iris from finding out the truth about her father? That's right, because Sholmes had told me how astute she'd become. Well, she was clearly the daughter of a prosecutor. However, having witnessed events in court today, I must say my opinion has somewhat shifted. Oh? I think at some point in the future, the time will come for Iris to know the truth. And when it does, well, I believe it will be for the best. I do too. I think so too. Actually, Professor, I wanted to talk to you about something too. Judging from that expression, I'd say you've come to a decision, have you? Yes, I have. I will be returning with you to Japan. Are you quite sure? I'm really only here as a substitute for Kazuma. That's the angle he's going with. He doesn't feel like he has the right to be here now that Kazuma is. But he's here in Britain now, as originally intended. Locum student Naruhodo doesn't really have a right to stay, I think. I see. Looking back now, when I first arrived here in February, my becoming a lawyer just seemed to be the way things turned out. They're playing the main theme, with Kazuma, Susato-san, and Mr. Sholmes all gently pushing me in that direction. I spent the best part of a year immersed in this world, but always aware of a seed of doubt inside me. Until today. Standing in that courtroom earlier, all doubts vanished from my mind. I was totally focused. I was sure of my belief in my client, and I was sure I could see the trial through. And at the end of it, I finally realized no one else chose this path for me. I chose it myself. The path of a defense lawyer, eh? Yes, that's what I am now. That's what I'll be going back with you to Japan as. And that's the path I'll be following for the rest of my life. Well, it sounds like you've made quite a resolution there. I have. Very well then. I must say it's extremely welcome news. I shall make arrangements for your return first thing tomorrow, but I don't imagine we'll depart for a few days. Not with the symposium having been cancelled now. Such a shame. Never mind, I'm sure there'll be other opportunities in the future. Well then, I'll bid you good night. Oyasumi. Oh shit. She heard. Susato-san. I just wanted to let you know I'm back. Did you, hear what your father and I were discussing? I'm sorry, I did, yes. I couldn't help but... Oh, how much did you hear? Well... from the part about Iris's real father, I think. In other words, from the beginning. So you've made up your mind. You'll return to Japan and continue working as a defense lawyer. Ah, yes, I'm sorry. I really should have consulted you about it. I did want to earlier this evening, actually, but you'd already gone out. Oh no, that's quite alright. I already knew that it's what you decide, Mr. Naruhodo-san. You did? Susato-san. Yes? I suppose this means it has to be farewell soon. I suppose. You'll be a great help to Kazuma going forward. I mean, I know he's a brilliant lawyer, but he's new to the British courtroom. He'll certainly benefit greatly having a brilliant judicial assistant at his side. I'll do my very best. I wish I could say it, but I just can't. I can't ask her to come with me. After all, she was always supposed to be coming to Britain as Kazuma's assistant. It's growing late. We should both try to get some sleep. I'm sure you must be exhausted after today. Oh, yes, you're right. Before I retire, let me just say one more time. You really were quite splendid in court today. So if you ask me, anyone who thinks of you as a substitute or a locum should be ashamed of themselves. Susato-san. Thank you. Man. This really is a bittersweet farewell, isn't it? We skipping ahead to the day of departure? Would seem so. Port of Dover. Quayside. So, we're ending this game off at the same place we ended the last one, it seems. Can't believe this day's finally come. You're really leaving then, Runo? I'm afraid so, Iris. Thank you so much for everything. I don't know what I'll do without your wonderful cooking and delicious tea. Oh, I wish you weren't going. But you have to come back and visit. Say you will. Of course. I promise. The two are saying goodbye as well. Well, it was a very brief reunion, but it was a pleasure to pursue a case with you again after so long. For a while, at least, it felt like old times. Yes, I suppose on reflection. There's something to be said for it. Having a little fun once in a while. I'll just go and say goodbye to the professor as well, I think. Alright, Iris. You do that.
Susato-san.
I've just checked, Naruhodo-san. Your luggage is already on board. Such a beautiful morning. Perfect for embarking on a journey, isn't it?
If you got that right.
Before I set off, I'd just like to say how thankful I am for everything you've done for me. And give my warmest regards to Kazuma, please.
Actually, I think you ought to give him your regards in person, don't you?
I was about to say, it would be kind of weird if he didn't see us off.
Sorry?
Ryunosuke.
The chat arrives.
Kazuma! What are you doing here?
It's so weird seeing the laughing being voice acted.
Do you really think I'd miss my best friend's departure?
Thanks. To be honest, I'd been looking forward to our wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's capital, but
man, this is some great voice acting. Definitely puts mine to shame.
Well, we'll have to save that for another time.
Dude's still dual wielding his court sword and Kazuma, I see.
Personally, I'm looking forward to facing you in court again.
me too. But we're both defense lawyers, so
I'm going to become a prosecutor.
Wow, he's actually making the big jump.
I'll stay in Lord Van Zeek's tutelage for the time being, but before long, I intend to be just as formidable as the Reaper himself.
It's a good goal to strive for.
oh, I see.
Actually, Ryunosuke, I have a favor to ask.
Name it.
I'd like you to take care of this for me for a while.
You want me to take Kazuma?
Kazuma?
Damn.
Why?
Naze.
Because I've seen it now. I've seen what's inside me. The demon that reared its ugly head that day. It was only for the briefest of moments. The last time I came face to face with that inspector. But it was unmistakable. I wanted to kill him. I've always known there are demons that live inside people. And now I know there is one in me. The fact that it very nearly consumed me is something I'll carry with me until the end of my days. While I devote my life to fighting those whose demons have got the better of them. As a prosecutor,
Fight your own demons while dealing with others. I respect it.
So, that's what you've resolved to do, is it?
Man, they've really hammed up the word resolve in this last, like, 2 cases of the game. I'm not complaining, it's just kind of funny. The amount of title drops.
until I'm ready to face the demon within me, to slay it once and for all.
I wish you luck, my friend.
I leave this in your care, if you'll take it.
Of course I will. I'll keep it by my side. Always. Until we meet again, then. You have your path to follow, and I have mine.
I like how he swapped the sword to his other side. He's like, well, shit, I'm right-handed. I kind of need to get it. I kind of need to grab it from the left side.
Naruhodo-san,
What's up?
the path you're going to follow from now on. I wonder if I might follow it at your side, and unless I'd be a burden.
Ah, so she's asking to come back.
What? I mean, I would very much like you to come with me.
He's so flustered.
But aren't you...
You're so predictable, Ryunosuke.
I am?
Honestly, you never change at all. But that's what I like about you.
Ooh.
You mean you knew about this?
It was the evening after Lord Van Zeek's trial came to an end. She came to see me at the prosecutor's office.
Really? Or when I had that conversation with Professor Mikotoba?
So, you'd go with Ryunosuke back to Japan?
Yes. I know it's unfair of me to follow my own interests like this.
Coming here especially to tell me. You're a stickler for etiquette, aren't you? Well, what are his feelings?
We've never discussed it, of course, and Naruhodo-san has made no such suggestion. I worry that perhaps I'd be a burden to him.
He's just as much of a stickler for etiquette as you are. He'd never say anything before he was asked. But I'd feel happy knowing you were with him. Look out for him on my behalf, will you?
Of course.
Man, this is such a great game.
Susato-san.
What do you think, Naruhodo-san?
With you by my side, no trial would seem too daunting. So if you're willing, I'd be honored if you'd come with me. Together we can take on the world.
I'm terribly incompetent, but if you'll have me, I'd be delighted.
You're more competent than Ryunosuke. I wouldn't say you have much to worry about, Susato. Also, always nice to see her tender smile.
Oh, no, not at all. If anyone's terribly incompetent, it's me.
See? Even he agrees.
Ah! What's wrong?
Your luggage, Susato-san. There's no time. The ship's going to set sail any minute now.
It's all right. There's no need to worry.
Did she already pack it on?
As it happens, my luggage is already on board too.
Yep.
It is?
Your fine judicial assistant has everything in hand as always, I see.
It seems so. And that's the final horn.
Bruno, your ship's about to leave.
Wow. That's the first time I've heard Iris have a voice. Real freaking close. They really got a voice actor for her in like the last scene of the game. God dang. My voice actually wasn't too far off. I might have hammed up the accent a bit too much, and obviously, being a guy, I have a hard time going too high-pitched, so I had to make do.
Time to go then. Look after yourself, Ryunosuke.
That we will.
Kazuma, draw your sword.
Oh shit. Joe, we gonna have Duel of the Fates? What is happening? I need to see this shit. Are they gonna cross swords? Please do. Oh, please do. Yes! I love this so much.
One day, when our paths cross, once more, we'll fight a duel of words across the courtroom. A day I eagerly await as a lawyer.
This is so cool.
I've been waiting to hear you say that, partner.
Bible. Look at that. Is there still a chip in Kazuma? It kind of looks like it has its tip back. Maybe not. God.
Don't forget me then, Kazuma.
Don't forget me. But yeah.
As if I could, Ryunosuke.
The bromance is strong.
And Mr. Sholmes.
Oh shit.
Thank you so much.
Yo.
I'm very much indebted to you.
Sholmes voice acting incoming, folks.
Indeed, Mr. Naruhodo. I believe you are.
I'll never forget all you've done for me during my time in London.
Quite. I should like to think you will remember your debt of gratitude.
God, imagine if this entire game is voice acted. I mean, granted, it would take like 90% of my work, and I would just... It would almost be like a no commentary playthrough at that point.
Especially when I visit you in your country.
Ooh?
What? The truth is, although many are ignorant of the fact,
I love his voice so much. They really got the perfect voice actor for Sholmes. They could not have done better.
the world is far smaller than most folk realize.
Well, I'd be delighted if you came to Japan one day.
Oh yes, would welcome you with open arms, Mr. Sholmes.
Yeah, and it would also mean that he would be able to go see his good old partner over in his country rather than vice versa.
Oh, that sounds wonderful! I can't wait!
Yeah, see, I cannot do a 10-year-old girl voice. I can try my hardest, but that is the most I can do.
In that case, let us conclude that this is to be merely a brief parting, my dear fellows.
My dear fellows. I love them. I love all of them so much.
And that brings us to the end of my adventures in Great Britain. A peculiar twist of fate brought me halfway around the world those many months ago. But that was just the start of my journey. Who knows where fate will lead me next? Still, I'm confident this won't be my last meeting with the friends I've made in London. And when we're together again, no doubt the first words I'll hear will be...
Okay,
Come, the game is afoot.
Oh, that too. Oh, man. What
The ship, with our friends from the east, sailed steadily towards the distant horizon.
Yo, narrator-san?
But Sholmes' face was alight with joy.
Wait, is this Mikatoba talking actually now I think about it?
The times may change, but a steadfast friendship will remain true, Wilson. We have but to gently close our eyes, and we are with our companions once more.
Oh, I love this.
So, I do just that.
Wow.
And when I do, I can hear his strong, familiar voice ring out.
Objection?
Objection!
God, I love this game.
Meet again, Bruno.
god, I love this game so much! Bro! It is... Oh my god, this journey was so incredible. Every piece of this game was so amazing, and I could not be more happy. Like, start to finish, it was such a great experience. I've been thoroughly inundated with inquiries about my remote cinematography, but I'm no purveyor of electrical goods and one of the promised closed court secrecy. Anyway, I've decided an absence from London is in order, a sojourn in distant climes. The Empire of Japan, perhaps. I understand that wardrobe class incurs no charge whatsoever. Oh man, there's so much I want to talk about, but I don't know. You guys know my thoughts on the game pretty well. I gave a little note to Hurley the other day. It just said, "Thank you for everything, Daddy." But it made Hurley cry. And I gave him some lotion I'd invented as well to dye his hair red safely. But he said that might make him cry too, so he'd rather not use it. I don't even know what to say, man. This game is just phenomenal. Especially the last two cases, they hit me so hard. In those days, when I was known as the Reaper, I felt your presence at my side. Once unable to bear the burden of that grim pseudonym, I even retired from the courtroom. Despite everything, I still wear your prosecutor's badge with pride. But the darkness that once beset me is no more, as you too are no more. In the words of a young foreign friend of mine, I must stride forward towards a brighter future. Dun, 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 dun. You know, the only bad thing I can say about this game is we never got to see Von Zieg's smile. Speaking of smiles, the boss left a note for me, you know, and I can read every letter now, A to Z, the whole lot. It's cleared a whole load of stuff up. The boss was trying to protect me, see? And that's exactly what me and Chief Inspector Toby here are gonna keep doing for Londoners. I only wish you could see how grateful I was before he, you know. Poor Gina. You're always just great to see, you and Toby both. And every other character, really. Besides, like, the bad guys. Oh god. Gina. The truth is, I'm not the upstanding fellow you think I am. You might be a diver at heart, but it's a good heart. You've reminded me I need to be true to myself. I've got one more job to take care of before it's ta-ta to London town for the foreseeable. And then, I've got to complete your education in the art of detection, a la Gregson, as they say. Look at his smug-ass face. I miss you so much, man. Why'd you have to die? You're a good guy at heart. Just took a while to see it. Also, I love this medley. Oh god.
Your Excellency, this man is accused of illegal entry into the office of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Objection! A bleak overstatement overruled. The minister has been detained in Britain.
Who is this caddish counsel for the defense, and women are forbidden to enter the courtroom?
Oh really? My friend Susato-san is in the British courtroom all the time. I can't keep up with this dialogue. Perhaps I should have engaged the services of our regular legal team. My god. I could not keep up with that dialogue. Also, I just want to say, Soseki-san with the 3 cats is adorable. Like, I very only briefly got to see that, but oh my god, was that adorable. Da-na, na-na-na-na-na-na. Mama, is it true about Japanese people? Are they experts at filleting? Yes, they are. Fish corpses on the whole. I'd like to hone my own filleting skills. You don't mind, do you, Mama? Yes, I do. I'm not a corpse yet, am I? No. And I'm glad. Oh, man. Man, it's been a while since we've heard the closing argument theme, considering, well, we didn't get any for the 5th case because, you know, there was no jury. Oh shit! Here I am again in Great Britain on the invitation of a dear old university friend. He sent me a very nice letter saying he'd like to show me around now that everything is settled. But what have I done? I was so excited I picked this splendid hotel and now I can't afford the bill. Oh, Barrick, come to my rescue again, please. I wish I could vanish into thin air sometimes. Good old broccoli, Professor. Always a good sight. Man, I can't even get in a word in edgewise as far as to how much I love this game. The characters, the music, the atmosphere, the animations, it's all great. When I went to make the waxwork impression of the killer in the cemetery, I realized what had happened. But even in the witness stand of the highest court in the land, I could never speak of it. The Lord Chief Justice and I had struck a bargain, you see. For a faithful reproduction of the visage, there is nothing we Tuspers would not do. Also, this frickin' I love this remix so much. It's a remix of the frickin' original Pursuit theme, and I love it. Everyone calls me Gossip. I sell jaunty little tidbits to passers-by, you know.
Everyone calls me a Pepino, and I sell the spaghetti. It's more red than my head.
Everyone. They call me... No, I cannot do it. This is ridiculous.
Oh, Daly, how charming. You've made lots of new friends here, I see.
Yes, and when we're released, we're all going to strike it rich together. Oh, man. I like how they did it again. They did the same thing they did from the first game, where they had a trio of convicts end up being friends in prison. They did it with the Skulkin brothers and Ashley Graydon. When I was accepted on the foreign study tour, I knew exactly what path I had to take, and however it might have ended, I knew that I wanted you there to see it. If I'd ended up in the dock, there's no one I would have rather had defending me. But now, thanks to you, there's a new path I want to take. I'm sure we'll meet again in the courtroom, my friend. Until then, I leave Kazuma in your care. Miss you, buddy. Man, I wish this game got to be a trilogy. I think it didn't get to be a trilogy because they ran out of, like, the license for Sherlock Holmes. I had to reverse it because I'm so used to saying Sherlock Holmes. Oh shit. Oh, we're with the crew.
I've made some tea, Naruhodo-san. It's important that you rest whilst you can. Once we arrive in Japan, you should be busy establishing your new office. I'm so delighted to be accompanying you. After all, your talents have been recognized by a great detective. Because you really are the greatest of lawyers. A great ace attorney, some might say.
Title drop. Yeah, title drop, yeah. Oh shit, what do we got? Oh, we're gonna see another. Oh, there it is. We got another one. Oh, look at all of them. Even Wagahai is here. We didn't really see Wagahai much this game, did we? Still a great kitty, though. And everyone else is great as well. And thus, we have reached the end of Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Oh man, and now we're getting one of these sequences again, I see. Now I can talk about my actual thoughts of the game. We're already over an hour in this recording, but who gives a fuck? I sure don't. Oh shit, Ryutaro! Hey, nice! Oh man, this game. So many fun characters, so many nice plot twists and everything. Oh, look at the kitties! So many nice plot twists, so many different fun interactions. I had such fun voicing almost every character. I know that probably a lot of my voices sounded very similar, because I could have done like some real outlandish voices, but at the same time, I didn't want to go too over the top, I guess you can say. Because, you know, because every character has their serious moments, so I didn't want to go too far out of the realms of possibility. Like, every voice I wanted to make it so they could have serious moments, I guess you could say. And it was just a very, I don't know, I just very much enjoyed myself. Every single character, freaking Shamspear, that dude was nutty. But I loved voicing him, and they put so much effort into that dude's animations, it's insane, bro. Like, really? Like, that dude was next level. Also, Chad Soseki, of course. Can never forget him. But god, there was so much. Oh, Drebber, freaking, that dude's drip was immense. Immaculate. Like, look at that dude. You cannot tell me his drip is not impeccable and uncompared. Also, you dropped your balloon, nerd. Also, freaking, the freaking Bohemian kids freaking crying with the accents. It was some of the funniest shit I've seen. Wait, what is Scythe holding? I don't think I've seen that animation before. What the heck? Also, I don't think I've seen that Albert animation of him bending down like that. That's pretty great as well. Hey, Von Zeeks, you sure you don't want to walk in line? You sure? No? Okay. But yeah, there is so much I love about this game. I'd say one of the most outlandish voices I did was definitely Caden. Like, doing the Scottish voice I did was very out there. It was definitely one of the harder ones to deal with. But I loved it all the same. This entire thing has just been a very fun experience. Oh, I guess... Oh, Wagahai's here. Sholm's effed off, though. Miss you, Gregson. Oh my god, they're freaking showing Mikatope. That's why Sholmes went off screen. That explains a lot. They have both of them dancing. That is amazing. The fact that both of them dance. I don't think I've seen... That's a new pose as well. They added a lot of stuff for this credit scene. I appreciate it. Oh god, no, he's doing the fast clap. Is he gonna speed up? Oh, he's speeding up. He's doing it. Amazing. Thank you, game. Thank you, game, for showing that again. Oh, man. I think I've exhausted most of the stuff I can talk about. This whole experience has been a great ride. And I'm happy that I got to see it with all of you. Here's to many future projects. I say projects, but it's literally just me playing a game. I make it sound way more fancy than it actually is, but hey. We've reached the apex. And from here on out, it's only on the up and up. Thank you all for joining me on this journey. It has been a long one. I think it's been an over 100 episode long journey if you add both the first game and the second. But hey, we finally reached the end. And man, what an end it has been. Back in Japan. Back where home is. But then again, home is where you make it. Isn't that right? This has been Tobias Stratus, signing off. Ja, mata ne.